Hey, welcome everybody to the Tyler Vann Show. We've got Coach Vann in tonight. We want to talk about last week a little bit, but we want to spend most of the night talking about what's to come. First, I want to welcome in and let him fire off the first round of questions. The greatest stat man between Rainsville and Sylvania, maybe a little north of Sylvania. I don't want to go too far, Howie, but the greatest stat man, Howie Chaney.
I don't know about all that, but appreciate that. Coach,
Sylvania, greater Metro Sylvania area. Maybe that's okay.
That'll work.
All right, but go ahead, fire up.
How's it going, Coach?
It's going, man. It's going.
Tough one this past week, but it seemed like your team grew during that game as far as overcoming some of the adversities and everything. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought, as always, our guys fought. It don't really matter the situation. We muffed a punt late in the game. It was 21-10. We could have laid down like that. It could have ended up 28-10. But our guys fought all the way through the horn. So I'm really proud of the way we played, especially on the defensive side of the football. I thought our guys rallied to the football, played really hard as always. Defense has continuously gotten a lot better every week. I thought we cleaned up a lot of mistakes on offense as far as penalties. This week of practice is probably the cleanest practice we've had in a long time. I think guys are locked in and understanding the importance. So to beat good teams, you need to play clean. And honestly, I thought we played pretty clean for the most part. We missed opportunities on offense, whether it be missed throw, drop passes. You can't blame it on one person. It's not one person's fault. If you want to blame it on anybody, you can blame it on Coach Vann because there's some things I thought that we could have done. They were giving us a lot in the past game. Obviously, they're playing 7 in the box. We could have went 11 personnel, a little bit more, 12, which is who we are. But I thought they was giving us a lot. 10 personnel, something that we need to work on still. Being able to throw the football is really wanting to limit how many times 2 touched in the game as well, and things of that nature. But it made it a lot easier to do so when things were there. Going into the game, I thought the past game was going to be something that was going to be open. I thought we could take advantage of the back end. And when you got in the game and you see it, you really felt more comfortable about calling the game with what they were giving us on the back end. And you get into the game and then you run the ball. When we were running the ball successfully on first down and we was getting in 2nd and 5s, then we were moving the chains, But when you're on the ball at 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 5, throw an incompletion, and then you're back in 3rd and 7 or whatever, then you're back in a pass down. And then if they know it's a pass down, the pass rush is a lot better on the pass down than it is on a run pass down. Like if you could run it on 3rd and 3, if it's 3rd and 7, it's going to be a heavier pass. So the DNs and everybody can pin their ears back and they can dial up blitzes just like everybody does. And it makes it a little bit more difficult to throw. So we just wasn't on schedule a lot with things, whether it be a missed throw or a drop pass, because we had plenty of both. In a game that I felt like, we could have done things better. I could have called the game a lot better. We could have handed it off probably more, especially looking back, there was a plan going into the game. I thought the plan was there. We just need to do a better job executing that. It's like I told the team on Monday. You don't have to worry about us not being 11 and 12 personnel much anymore. Like it's all holds board. Like we are everything we got. Don't matter who touches it, how many times they touch it. It's week to week now. Like you got to win or you go home. And if you look back at the 2 losses that we've had, and you watch the film, there's plays to be made that would have won us the games. And so going forward, let's just do what we need to do at practice. Let's make those plays at practice. We've had a really good week of practice, and then you can trust yourself to make them on Friday. So just in big situations, got to make big-time plays. And I feel like we have made big plays in big games and won big games because of the big plays. But when you get in games, when you're playing good competition, those you can't miss big plays. And whether that be in the run game, pass game, whatever, whether it be a big interception or whether that be a big pick up, scoop, score, whatever it is, special teams play. You got to, when you're put in a situation to make it, you got to make it. I trust that we have guys that's going to make those plays. And, you know, if you're going to point the finger at somebody, and then it'll be any of my guys on that field, you pointed at me. But I was really proud of the way, again, our guys played in the game and, you know, competed in the game against a really good football team. Just want to make another deep run, if not make it all the way. And Logan Anderson's a special player, and I thought our guys did a really good job of tackling him. And like I said, we're into the football. So again, there's a, you know, we were as a group, we were upset about the loss. But I can tell you this: on Monday, we'd already tossed it. It's a brand new season. We can't change the fact we was 8-2 in the last one, and didn't nobody want to be 10-0 more than this coaching staff and those players. I promise you. So we wasn't happy about the ending of it, but at the end of the day, like, you can't change it right now. There's nothing you can do about 8-2. The only thing you can do is try to go 1-0 each week and hopefully end up 5-0. It's like I told them Friday night. We won. We've been on 2 straight 4-game winning streaks. Let's go on another 4-game winning streak and find a way to win the 5th one. So let's do a good job right here of doing what we need to do against good football teams and make the plays. And I think we're going to. I'm really proud of the way we practiced the last 2 days and the energy that we brought and how our guys have executed. So,
hey, Coach, when I listened to the game and I watched the film, and I do think that they played really well, played hard. Most of these big games and tight games like this, you're playing for a break or an opportunity, and you really credit Fife for this. You never got that huge opportunity that you were looking for. Fife kind of played pretty clean football too, and I thought at the end of the day, they were ahead on the scoreboard, but it was 2 teams that played clean.
Yeah, you're right. We had a big interception. 54 had a big interception. I think we had a big play right after that, moved to change some. And then we were in a run play, and the way, like, we'll give dummy calls sometimes because we're heavy on pass games. So quarterback will give the play and then sometimes give a dummy call after the play. And 4 guys are in the run play and 1 guy will run the dummy call. So we have 1 guy doing the wrong job, and that wrong job on the run play cost us a -2 play. So now we're in 2nd and 12. And like I said, instead of being on schedule, we get that 1 guy blocked. It's at least 3. Instead of being on schedule, now we're off schedule. Just like those little bitty MAs in the games, what cost you. It ain't even the one. Fans don't even see some of the MAs we have. Like, it's just a little bitty MA miss assignment like that right there. Just 1 guy getting the wrong, not locked in to 1 play and getting the wrong call. Cost us 2 yards. And in the grand scheme of things, when you're playing a really good defense, 2nd 12, you're in a pass down now. Now we could have ran it again, but a good run play against 5, 6 yards. That's a really good run play, 5, 6 with how good Simon Hicks is and 30 or 33, 70, 24, who played more in a run game than he has all year. They've had him in the secondary a good bit. So they were really packing it in there, saying, hey, I don't want you to run the football. We're going to give you some stuff in the pass game. And when you had that run play and you have 1, like just for example, that happened twice. You have a miss assignment up front, then you're behind the chains and in a passing down, and then whether it be an incompletion, now look, you're 3rd and 12. So that was one big on that drive. We kind of had an MA there that kind of stalled that drive, and then we was able to drive the ball one time because we was on time. Now we were in 2nd 5s, we were in 2nd manageables. Now it's run pass down, and they may not be dialing it up as much. So there you have time in the pocket when they're not dialing it up. Listen, when it's 3rd and 12, you're bringing 24 and 70, and everybody's 33 for 5. Like, it's not going to take them long to get there. And it's tough. I played the position. It's tough to sit in there when the bullets are firing on 3rd and long because they're bringing it. And sometimes they're bringing more to one side than you can block. Because again, we had an MA on just a simple call that we missed. So you can't get too complicated in pass blocking schemes either to try to pick some stuff up. You got to be simple and when you're like that, sometimes they get you. So just little bitty things, man. And again, you know, I do feel like we could have been 11 person a little bit more. Really weren't comfortable with 12 the other night, but 21 normally only felt a lot for us, but I felt like we were in better situations when we were spread out. And we didn't miss opportunities. And yeah, if I could go back, I probably would stay in that personnel group and probably 11 a little bit more and ran 2 more. But again, there was a plan going in. I thought we executed it somewhat. We just missed the big ones. You know, like they had a blown coverage on one, and the snap was low, and both are center and quarterbacks to blame on that one. Because I'm always about the quarterback can help everybody out, you know. So it's always the quarterback's fault. Ask everybody in the stands. You know, that's the easiest person to blame. It's the guy that touches it every single play. But we should have called it, and they had a busted coverage. And actually, the guy we was going to was nobody. I mean, nobody was there, and that was one touchdown. And you look back at film, we had chances and to score some points, and we missed them. And that's a credit to Fife and how good they are on the D line and the linebacker, just as much as it is credit to us just missing the plays. So, you know, I think we're going to make the plays in the future. I think this game's going to help us. It helped us last year full time. Just by the way we practiced this week, I think this game's helped us. And our guys are not pouting over it. We're worried about this round 1 game and what we need to do to win it. So really proud of, again, senior leadership that we have that has come in ready to go this week. They understand the task, and they've been there last year. They understand what it takes to make a run. And if you're going to do that, you have to be locked in every single day, no matter who you're playing or who your opponent is. It's about you showing up next Monday. And for you to be able to show up next Monday, you better practice good throughout the week. And I thought the first 2 days have been pretty good. So I've been really proud of them.
Howie, you got a follow-up? Coach, and I was going to mention this. Jeremy Johnson, a member of the Fife crew, and Howie and I do a show in the off season. So, I mean, not only was it on the field that you had family out there, you had this crew, RiverCity-Media. You split up. You got me and Howie with Sylvania and Jeremy with Fife, and that's the kind of game it was. It was a fantastic game. I got nothing but love for the Fife kids. I thought they played hard. Coach, I just didn't think we got the break when we needed it in the game. But I'll throw it to you, Howie. I really thought we played well. I don't know what the scoreboard said, but I thought the kids really played hard and played well against a very good football team.
Played really hard, and I'm really proud of them. They always do. And like I told you before, it's not anybody's fault we lost that game the other night. It's not the side of the ball's fault. If it's anybody's fault, it's Coach Vann's. And there ain't nobody going to learn from the loss more than me, I promise you. So we're going to do a better job of being prepared and getting ready to go moving forward. And even in, nobody beat themselves up more about play calling than Coach Vann does, I promise you. It's a win, lose, or draw. We've won 8 games this year, and I beat myself up just as much after a win as I did a loss. And I try to find ways to get better. So, there's nobody that can.
Howie, I don't know what Coach Vann's saying. I can tell when he's on himself or when he's had a bad night, even when they've won and had a bad night. I get huddle updates that films are available from Coach Vann about Friday night, about 2:00 in the morning. I know Coach Vann has been watching film already. So, Howie, I'll let you ask a couple questions about this game, and we'll move on to the playoffs.
Coach Vann, it was finally football weather last Friday night, being nice and cool and all that. Do you think that helps you moving on in the playoffs? Because it's not going to get no warmer as you move forward.
Yeah, it's always good to kind of cuts down on cramps and things of that nature. You shouldn't be cramping much. Just late in the year, being in shape. I think our guys are in better shape right now at this time than we were even last year. So it always helps when it cools down and when the grass turns brown like it is right now and it gets dark at 5 o'clock. You're playing in a good time of year. So I'm really excited when we have to turn the lights on ways through practice. So.
I had a coach this week tell me, when the grass turns brown, coach, you're playing for something. That's truth to that. Go ahead, Howie.
No, I'm ready to get ready with the playoffs. So let's hear a little bit about Vinemont, Coach. What do you know about them?
They run a lot of similar stuff that Fife runs on offense. They do, Coach has done a really good job down there. He's taken that program and started winning football games and making playoffs like he did this year. So that coach center has got it going. His name slips my mind, and I talked to him a couple of times. And if I wasn't right here right now on the show, I could tell you because I've said it numerous times this week. But Coach has done a really good job with Vinemont. They have some players that play really hard. Running back number 12 is a quick kid. They've actually I've seen a few guys running at number 1, the quarterback. He runs it hard too. Plays some wing for him. They like to give him the ball as well. He's going to normally when he touches it, it's a big play. So we have to do a really good job of reading our keys this week. Get lined up just take another step forward as far as getting lined up, doing things the right way. I think Coach Clark and the defensive staff have done a really good job. I guess it was after the Pisgah game of completely taking the defense and cutting down on a lot of alignment, a lot of people switching and stuff, kind of cutting down on what they need to remember and just get lined up right. And it's made a huge difference in how we played. If you look from that Pisgah game forward, I thought our defense, when they get lined up right and play hard, we're tough on defense. So no different this Friday night against an offense that can move the ball with a good running back, quarterback that can throw it. We have to do a good job of getting our reads, playing hard, and flying to the football.
You didn't say it. Do you mind if I say it? Get the players where their eyes is in the right position. Yep. That's one thing I've learned from you and the rest of the coaches been on the sideline. Y'all get your eyes in the right place.
Yeah, it's crazy. You tell them, it's like reading a book. The guy that you're reading takes you where you need to go. So I don't understand. Sometimes we mess that up. It's like if you want to be a really good football team, if you want to be a good linebacker, if you want to be a good DB, wherever your eyes start, you have to read it right to start with. So that's what practice is about: getting good reads, getting good at your technique, getting good at alignment. When we go drills and stuff, that's when you're working technique and stuff. We're a team and doing things, so whether it be reads in our linebacker drill, whatever it is, like it's about your eyes and it's about doing things the right way. It's about taking a good first step. And it's like Kobe Butchum when he plays mine. Kobe Butchum's not the fastest linebacker on their team. Ain't close, to be honest with you. It is pretty close. He'd get mad for me saying that, but even with a hurt ankle right now, when he reads it, he gets there quick. Just because he reads it and he takes a good first step and he's on track to go to the right place. Now, we have other guys that may read it wrong and retrace, but they're faster than 54, but they're slower getting there because they're read slower. And that's why 54 helps us a lot at Mike, especially when you're playing a team that likes to run it a lot. That's why we have to get 54 healthy again. And I think he'll be a game time decision this week. He's come a long ways from Friday night. He was one of the only guys we had banged up the other night as far as a true injury. We had a bunch of guys banged up, hurt, but nothing like Kobe. Kobe had a true injury, so we're hoping he'll be a game time decision Friday. He's come along really well this week. So, but yeah, getting your eyes right, play at full speed, get your reads, very important part of football. If you can't do that to start a play, if you can't get lined up, read a guy and take a step, you're not going to be a very good football team. It's impossible. I don't see how on defense it don't even make sense. It's like going fishing, like without a rod and reel or something. Expect to go catch. I mean, you can't do it. Like you're not going to stop people not getting lined up right. So I had to add some fishing quotes or something for Coach Chaney.
One more question, Randy. I'll come to you. With Vinemont, you said Vinemont does a lot of the same stuff that Fife does. Is that easier on your scout team to make it more realistic as what you'll be seeing come Friday night?
It does. Scout team's young. We have a lot of freshmen playing up there, so it's hard to go live. We don't really hardly go live that much this year. That's another one of Coach Vann's learning curves as a head football coach going into this year was how to stay physical and continue to be physical while at the same time not killing each other during practice. Because I can tell you the last 2 years, when you talk to our football teams, them seniors that graduated, they're probably sitting there going, man, I wish we would have done so and so, because I was rough, especially Styles Hughes and Brody and them and all those guys, Sawyer, Xander, Deck, but a bunch of those guys. It was a little bit more rough practices and a little tougher than it is today, and that's just again feel like me trying to get better as a head football coach and planning. We're not as physical this year during practice. Now, there's times during drills and stuff we are, but as far as team, full speed, trying to stay healthy, we get a lot of what we need during half line and doing stuff like that. But it is, because they've done it a week ago. It does help them kind of understand what we're doing and trying to accomplish. So it helps as far as the speed of practice goes and them understanding what to do. But I don't know. You have to go to practice sometime now. I'll show you. Sometimes it's difficult, though.
Right. Randy, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, Coach, you're talking, and I did watch the huddle cut of Vinemont. You really did get a great look this week with Fife. Maybe not the same level of athletes, but what they want to accomplish are very similar. And I wanted to ask, when you're putting in your game plan this week, are they pieces you can take from last week or your play chart? Are there pieces that you can carry over?
Yeah, yes, sir. We don't get lined up the exact same way.
Give me that, Coach.
But the exact same way. They probably practiced it to a T. You know exactly what we're going to do. No, it helps just because we work multiple different things. We just want to do the 5, and when we was in that, it was actually working. We changed some stuff up in the middle of the game, moving guys around. So, it helps that we're able to do that again this week. Kind of work some of the stuff we didn't break out last week, and kind of teeter with some stuff and be ready to go. You never want to go into a game with just one front, one answer. You need to have multiple answers, and then kind of have an idea of what you think they may hit on, and then that way you can think of the answer. Like, naturally when you get lined up where you're weak at, and naturally where they can hurt you. So when they find that spot, it's good to have that answer already ready to go. So it's always trying to think ahead, but it does help.
Let me ask the question different. So, when you are making your sheet this week, and you already made it?
You talking about offense?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. When you make your play sheet this week, it feels the same, looks the same. Will the kids look at it and feel the same? Or I really thought coming out of the Geraldine game earlier in the year that you kind of changed some stuff here and there. I guess more about, are you going to be able to, I don't know how to ask this without sounding dumb, but you said it earlier. You stayed in a lot of 11 and 12 personnel. You go back to your comfort level almost that's a good way of putting it. You can go back to the comfort level in what you did earlier in the year.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
And we have some stuff, that we have 2 or 3 things we've practiced all year that we hadn't broke out yet. And
all right, that's good.
There's some heavier personnel groupings that we have practiced that we hadn't used yet. That we kind of, even out of 11 personnel stuff that I've had even since week 5 that we've repped during practice every single week. And I guess they're just waiting on me to break it out, and I ain't done it yet because I didn't want to do it last week. I feel like it's more beneficial in a playoff game to break some stuff out than it is in a non-region or non-playoff game, to do stuff. Some coaches have the idea, let's show it and make them get lined up to it.
Yeah.
But that's not me. I'd rather maybe surprise you and make you adjust on the fly. That way you can't even show the formation. So we have some stuff, but it's like I told them on Monday, we're going to try to physically dominate everybody that we play from this point forward. I don't care how good people say their D front is. I don't care how good their box is supposed to be. We're going to take the same mindset we did in the last year. We're going to try to physically dominate our opponents up front, run the football, and then stuff off of that's going to be open. Obviously, people's going to load the box, and I think we're plenty good enough to throw and catch it. You know, the other day we was able to get too high and stuff was wide open. Too high means run it, one high means throw it. That's one of the spread deals I learned. I've talked to a bunch of coordinators that go by that rule of thumb. Because normally if they're too high, you got them outnumbered. Or they're weak to a flat on one side. But the other night was a little different, just because it depends on really if they're in an even or odd for that rule to work, in my opinion. But anyways, if it's too high,
you kind of answered my question with the comment.
But
heavy.
No, sorry, like we're going to be heavy, trying to dominate the front, and our O-line's ready. You know, we were beat up last week going into the game up front. You know, and so hopefully 54. This even helps his shoulder getting better this week. If he, you know, it's a game time decision, but you know he hadn't been at practice all week this week as far as full live reps. So I'm hoping this is helping his shoulder as well, because I bet we're still at 70% with our left guard going into last week. So, and it's got a lot of guys some reps up front at different spots this week with him being out, and I've been able to get a lot of reps. So it's really helped us up front become, you know, well, just more depth up front, especially reps in practice. When you're trying to get out of practice, here's what a lot of people don't understand. This is the tough part about game planning and stuff, in my opinion, and practice. When you try to get a lot done in practice, or we try to get group work, individual work on both sides of the football, but at the same time you try to get out 2 hours. Okay, that 2 hours is like, for today the schedule said 3:25 off the field, 5:25. We didn't get off the field at 5:38, so I was 13 minutes late. The reason I know that because I looked down, it was 5:29, and I ended it, and then we did like a walkthrough, so we really didn't do nothing for the last 8 minutes besides a lot of mental stuff. So really wasn't a tough part of practice. But you try to fit stuff in a 2 hour schedule, and along with special teams, you know, when you start timing stuff out, it condenses quick what you're trying to get repped and stuff. So then it becomes what's a priority for a Tuesday, what's a priority for a Monday, and then what's a priority for a Wednesday. And to get multiple guys reps, and at the same time get game time front reps for a Friday night is really tough. And it's something that I think we've been better at this year, but it's still really tough to do. So then it goes, and when you get most of the guys, your twos reps, and it may be once to twice a week that you be able to get a lot, you know, more than usual. But like this week, we're able to move some guys around up front because we had some issues up front this week with, you know, just team issue type stuff with our front. Nothing bad, nobody did anything wrong, but it's allowed us to move some guys around and get a lot of reps even on Monday and Tuesday. So I think that's going to be really good for us moving forward this week, and hopefully if we can find a way to win this week going into next week, because of just guys getting more reps, if that makes sense. That's a really tough part about practice planning is getting guys reps, getting your starter reps, and knowing what you're going to see on Friday, and at the same time getting your backups enough reps that you do. And you know, we're our heavy personnel stuff that we hadn't done in a while. Still, we rep it. We worked it in a while. You know, and even different sets. So we got some stuff, and I'm like I told them Monday. You know, it's from here on out we want to whoop everybody that we play, and I think we played the most physical team we're going to play for a long time last Friday night. If we're able to win this week, you know, and Five's a really physical football team. And if you look back over the years with Five, like Coach Benefit will tell you, they get in the finals. They play some athletic football teams. I mean, they play some really good football teams and really good football players. What sets Five apart is the physicality that they play the game with. You know, and it's not because there's 4 stars, 5 stars everywhere. No, it's because of what he's done in the weight room and how physical they are on the football field. Because even when I played, they were always the most physical team to play. And they win football games on their physicality, and I thought our guys did a really good job of matching that the other night. We just got to continue to get better. at that aspect as well as the things we messed up.
By the way, Coach Robinson at Vinemont. I did look that one up for you.
Yep.
What and Diego Rodriguez, I believe is his name, 12.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what Vinemont does really well.
Vinemont does a really good job of getting guys out in front of the runner, just like 5. You know, a lot of pullers. That's what that offense calls as you play. That offense is played in the phone booth, so
yeah,
everything's in there tight. And 12's not a very on the roster. I think he's 5'9", 170. He's a senior, but he's quick now. You lose him a little bit. He bursts through and does a really good job. So we had to do a good job of not giving any creases because it don't take much of a crease. He's a quick kid and he hits it quick and does a really good job. And then 2, Joshua Rhodes, kind of the wingback guy. He's actually a freshman, but he does a good job. They've hit him on counter a few times, even recently, where he's had some big plays. So, they do a good job at what they do, and Coach Rob does a really good job at finding what his team needs to do well, and he coaches them to do it well. So, he's done a good job, with Vinemont. So, if we're not ready to go, we're going to be in trouble. Our guys got to come out ready to go, playing hard, playing physical, and seniors, we got to lead this team the right way.
North Alabama, just speaking of 3A in general, not your bracket, not the other bracket, but going over those 2 brackets, you're going to get you really get a quality opponent this week. You're going to get a quality opponent every week moving forward. And in those 2 North Alabama brackets, you had to go through that jaunt last year. There is some good football teams. You're one of them, of course. What did play someone like you did the last 2? I mean, I thought Hokes Bluff was a good team too, very good team, and they're in the playoffs too. Down the stretch, you played some very good football teams. You're not going to get much better looks than you've had in week 9 and 10, 8, 9, and 10. So you got to feel good about that.
Yeah, and that's what's such a good thing about playing, 5 week 10. Me and Coach talk. We actually kind of want to move that date up in the year, but it does help you when you play on week 10. If you can get through it healthy, it helps you. We did get one banged up injury a little bit, but I think we dodged a season-ending injury the other night. So that's a big deal. And so if you can get through it healthy, like I said, you're not going to play any more physical team than what we just played. They're a really good football team. Then you look at, like you said, North Alabama, there's playoff teams all over the place that are good football teams. And like I told the guys after, you did your job. You went 7-0 in a region. You earned a 1 seed, and you get the opportunity to play a 4 seed. Does that mean that 4 seed's bad? No, it does not. I think 3A football is really good. And you look at Mississippi. I had something pull up, and I read an article earlier today about a 4 seed beating a 1 seed. It doesn't matter. You're in the playoffs for a reason. And the second you think because you have a 1 seed beside your name that people's going to roll over for you, you're wrong.
Yeah.
So we have to be ready to go. And if we're not, there'll be an article written about us getting big. So we've got to do a good job.
Absolutely. And there was one, I don't know if a 1 beat a 4, but even in Marion County, number 1 undefeated Marion County in the state played a 4 seed to a 20-14 game Friday night. There's some good football teams in those 4 seeds. Westmoreland was a 5-5 football team, but they play in a region. They're a good football team, Coach, and Vinemont plays in one of those regions too. Howie, go ahead.
Yeah, I read the article from the AHSAA today where it said that I think it was 8 4 seeds beat 1 seeds last year in the playoffs. I think they said that's the most that's happened since they went to this playoff format. So if you don't show up ready to play, you could easily be done that night. Coach, we heard a little bit about the Vinemont offense. Let's hear about their defense. What do you expect out of them?
Play hard, get a lot of halves in the football. They're kind of based from they're based out of odd front, so they give multiple looks up front from what I call bear, a lot of people call bear, to 50 front there and 3-4 look, and then what looks like, or I think they kind of just shift everybody over and play 8 in front, but with odd personnel. So if you have 3 linemen on the field, I'm going to say you're based out of odd front, whether you walk a stand-up guy down or not. That's just kind of how we look at it from an offensive scheme standpoint. But based out of odd front, they've shown 1 high and 2 high. Obviously, if you're in a 3-4, you're going to roll most of the time to a tight end and roll and slant, play cover 3 a good bit, and also they play 2 high too. So you just play base and play technique up front. So they did a lot of things really good. Coach does a good job of mixing stuff up, and they fly to the football. And there's no better way to make up for some missed tackles than running the football. So 12 and 14 plays inside backer for them. Both get after it. So we have to do a good job. And I think 3, I think it's their safety. Yeah. Kyler Pugh, he's a free safety for him. He's a senior. He gets after it. He has a lot, just watching film. He's a physical football player, plays down the hill. 28, Tucker Robinson, I believe that's Coach's kid. He plays outside linebacker for him. He's a sophomore. So they have some guys that do things the right way. So our coach gets them lined up and play good football. So we have to be ready to go.
Being out of school Friday, how does that? Do you think that's going to affect you any? Or what are you going to tell your players to do Friday as far as being out of school?
Actually, it kind of helps. So we had 3 grades virtual the other day, Thursday. So it's kind of same type schedule that we did last week. So we've already done it once. We actually get to do it back-to-back weeks. So it kind of sets up something we just did and didn't do a bad job of handling. So we're going to handle it very similar.
Randy, any questions?
Coach, one last about the offense. Last week you said, and you talked about already in health. Was there a situation in the backfield? You got more touches to Zach. Was that by design? You wanted to get him the ball a little more than you had in previous weeks?
Actually, no. Another thing we do to kind of make it a little bit more simple and not as much to remember in the backfield when we're in gun. Kind of 5's always to our right, 2's always to our left. We hadn't done a lot of switching of that just because I think they both do a good job either side. They had Tucker, another good scheme coach did. Coach Winfield did a really good job. Something actually going into it I was hoping they would not do. They did. They had Wilkes to our right side, 70, and they also had Simon Hicks to our right side, which is 33. Again, because we pretty good gap scheme to our left with 51 pulling, so they did a good job trying to get them to run things down from the backside before you can even get going, and kind of shut down trying to run it to the right side. So out of that gun look, it went to 5 a little bit more just because we was running left more than we was running right to kind of run away from 70 and 33, if that makes sense. So 5 naturally got to touch a little bit more. I yelled out there switch a few times. They didn't hear me, but I was really good with either one of them. So I trust both of them to run the football. And we had 2 twice on the screen. He was held both times. I don't know. I should have sent that in. I complained in the middle of the game because that's illegal to do. You can't just hold a guy and keep him from catching it. But, I think that was once. And I thought it was more of a hold. After I watched film, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was live. They did get something on him and kind of changed their eyes quick. And then we ran a screen, or we ran a play action one time, and he barely ran into the DN there. If it would have got underneath it, the inside backer would have been able to cover it, would have dunked it. And probably it was when we was down there about the 12, we'd have probably scored on that one. We just found it like, man, we were missing things by, I'm talking about closer than you would think. But
and that's what I'm trying to say earlier tonight. It seemed like you were so close to making a big play.
Yeah, we got two on the screen one time out wide. One of our quads looks and on the screen he about broke it. And I was watching for him the other day. He's like, I wish I'd have just tried to avoid it. He's one of them. He wants to run over you, and I like that. I'm never going to tell him to change. He's like, I wish I'd have just stiff arm kept running. I said, me too, but it's all right. I ain't going to tell you not to be physical and run over people. If that's what you want to do, you do it. He made a big play there in the past game. So, but you ain't got. We're going to rely on 2 and 5 and our old line, and then I got to do a good job of getting the ball to some guys out there that in space as well, like 1 and 5, 9 and 23 guys that throw and catch, and then we've done a way better job of that the last 2 days. I really do think that's going to help us on Friday night.
Howie, I don't have any thing else for Coach. You got anything for him? And we'll get him out of here kind of early tonight. It's been I've never been a coach, but I think the first week of playoffs would be one of the harder weeks to prepare for because I don't know if it's a different mindset, Coach, but it seems like it. You just changed from regular season to now. This is that time of year, and it's 1 week at a time.
Yeah, and it's all. It's my favorite. Like I told him Monday morning, it's my favorite time of year. I know the guys like it. It's it's like a kind of rejuvenation a little bit. To be honest with you, just it's a new season. The regular season's done. You've done your job. We've reached one goal, winning a region championship, undefeated in a region. So now let's set another goal once reaching that goal. This week's goal 1-0, and so
that's it. I mean, I cover the team I cover. The chant last week was 1 more week, and that's the way you got to be. It's week to week, and you made that. How much, Coach? Last question for me. How much does the experience of last year help, or does it?
I think the experience of preparing and being in the playoffs and practicing it helps a lot. Now, the playing, and I don't think it helps as far as whether we're going to win or lose a game. I hope it does because of how we prepare. But I think the preparation part helps a lot. Maybe not playing in the atmosphere because I think our guys have played in some playoff type atmospheres this year. But understanding what it takes preparation wise and understanding what it's like to play for 13 and 14 wins, I mean, that's different. Playing, like everybody, playing 10 weeks is a lot. You start adding weeks on top of that, more football games. Just knowing what the toll it takes on your body and the importance of recovery and things of that nature. It becomes long. It's about how you prepare. And I thought our guys learned a lot from last year. And this week, first playoff week, I thought our guys prepared pretty well first 2 days.
Excellent. Howie, let's close this out tonight.
Yeah, I just I don't know if it's Coach Vann's favorite part of the show. I keep on saying it is, but we're going to do some quick picks real quick and let Coach go home to that wonderful family of his.
Well, Coach, it's okay if he picks Missouri. I'm just going to go ahead and admit it because I'm a little worried myself.
So right now at the standings, Coach Vann is 11-8 at a 578 win percentage. Guest pickers is 18-12 at a 600. So getting closer, getting a lot closer here. So Randy, you'll have to be the guest picker again tonight.
Well, I'm going to pick Tennessee. He's going to get the opportunity to pick up one there. So go ahead.
So we're going to start with one. We're going to start with something that's not even really on the board. It's Auburn and Arkansas.
Arkansas.
When a coach is about to get fired, I like to give him a good chance. Coach Pittman's going to get it done, and Arkansas is going to win the football game.
Both of you go for Arkansas. All right. Michigan versus Penn State.
I think Michigan knows what Penn State's doing before Penn State knows Michigan.
I got you. A little backhanded.
Hey, here's the deal on that, too. One comment. Who cares? They're stealing signals. How about be better? Add signal or something. Like, let's chill a little bit on the signal stealing. Like, they still have to make plays, And how about, just like Saban said, just fix it. Put Put a radio in the quarterback's helmet. Let's just fix
Be
it.
done.
Yeah, that'd be simple.
You know, I didn't play football, but I did play basketball for Coach Gary Talley, and he told me, or he told the team one time, said, I don't care if the other team knows what we're doing. They still got to stop us.
Yep.
If you execute the way you're supposed to, even if they know what you're going to do, they can't stop you. If you do it the way you're supposed to do it.
And if you're signaling, you
Okay.
still have to get the call to the kids. And like, it's going from, they have to see the call and then tell the defense what the call is going to be and what they're running and then relay it real quick. For me to see that as a huge advantage and them to be able to do it, they may get it, like they may make 3 or 4 different plays, but if you're going at a tempo, I would say that it's hard to do at a high rate. That's my opinion, but I go Michigan.
Quick question: the Steels, talking about the Steels and all that. How you feel about it in baseball?
That's a little different. If I know there's a changeup coming, it may be good to go.
Head off. Pick Penn State just because I hate Michigan.
You hate Michigan because you have to go up there and work from time to time.
Do what?
You hate Michigan because you have to go up there and work from time to time.
Yeah, and I work with like 6,000 Michigan fans. When they're good, it's hard on me.
And, of course, the last one, Tennessee and Missouri.
Go ahead, Coach. Get you a game here.
Well, my win percentage is lower than the others. I'm going with Josh Heupel, Tennessee.
Wow. You know what? I cannot see that I saw that coming. I'm going to go with Tennessee.
I thought Missouri played really well against Georgia last Saturday.
I do too. I think that's going to affect them this week. A little hungover going into this week. Thought they should have won that game. And, Tennessee's getting better on offense, so I think they get them. I kind of want Tennessee to get on the road because wouldn't hurt if they beat Georgia.
Might help Alabama. This is one of the few times Tennessee could actually help Alabama. So, hey, it'll be a good game. I think it's a very even game. I think it's a point or two either way is what Vegas has got it set, and I think it's that way. So Tennessee kind of ran it up on Missouri last year intentionally over some comments. So I'm afraid that may come back to haunt them this year because they scored 66 on them and was throwing in the fourth quarter. So
you want to change your pick?
No, I'm not going to change.
Looks like he thinks Missouri's going to win.
I'm worried. I'm worried. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not worried about Sylvania. I'm worried about Tennessee this week.
I would say it would be a lot different game if it's going to be at Neyland Stadium, having to go back-to-back Georgia than Tennessee. But being at home, I think Missouri will kind of be a little bit more relaxed and calm. Because I really feel like if that game last week was in Missouri, they would probably beat Georgia.
Listen, I don't say things about the University of Alabama well or often. I don't think Georgia wants to get to Alabama this time of the year. So we've got to all root for Ole Miss this week because Ole Miss can beat Georgia, then Tennessee controls their destiny next week. So I'm the biggest Ole Miss fan in the history of the world this week. Roll Kiffin. Never thought you'd hear me say that.
I think Coach Vann's likes Kiffin as well.
I like Lane. I like Coach Kiffin.
Hey,
I like Dabo too. And I like Dabo even more after the comments he made last week. So I like Coach Sweeney.
I like Coach Kiffin. I would have hired him back if it had been up to me.
Coach Vann, best of luck to you and the guys Friday night. Be there on the sideline rooting you on, cheering you on. And I appreciate you getting the players to come in and talk to us. They could have been off doing whatever else, but we do this show for them and for you and for them, for Sylvania, and to get to know the players off the field. We know what they can do on the field, but we want to get to know what's kind of underneath the helmet there. And I appreciate you letting me and Randy do this week in and week out. And good luck to you Friday night.
Appreciate you guys. And hopefully we get a win. Get a few more on next week. So.
Look, you need to keep on winning because my daughter told me that she likes me being busy on Tuesdays. So she's dependent on you, Coach. All right. For Coach Vann, thank you for your time. Get ready. Howie Chaney, myself, Tyler Vann Show. We'll see you next week, too. Good night. God bless.